Hey, with a big step forward, and I want to share with you uh, this whole thing. If you'll notice, the picture here is probably a lot better than it has been in the past. And that's because I have figured out, with the help of the internet and tech support people and all, how to use my webcam, my iPhone as a webcam. Now, it looks a little off because the camera's off to the side. And I can fix that, but you can just, I'll put me down on this monitor. Now I'm looking down. I do have to get a situation where the camera is located in the right spot. Right now it's sitting on a roll of paper towels right in front of the monitor. Anyway, so this is a big thing. I was using the camera that was in my Apple Thunderbolt display, but it was 10 years old, and it was an old camera, and it's a 720 camera, which doesn't make that much difference because unless you're paying a lot of extra money, you're probably only getting 720 resolution on. You're probably receiving that, or unless I pay extra money, I would not be able to broadcast through StreamYard with more than 720, and that's more than I want to spend. But still, even though the online resolutions may be limited, the camera in the iPhone it uses light so much more efficiently. I haven't changed the lights at all, and I don't even have any lights pointing directly at me, but the lighting is fantastic. And the light works so much better with the green screen. Notice there's no artifact in the green screen. There's no fuzziness. It's crystal clear. Because you're loyal people, I'll tell you this one time. This is not my house. This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. My beautiful wife's next door. And I just kind of want to share with you the process for me. It was grueling. So I got a new computer. And with that comes the operating system Ventura. And with Ventura, you can use your iPhone Bluetoothfully, wirelessly as a webcam, which I am doing right now. My iPhone is right there. And the picture is so much better in the light. Well, that's the thing about the iPhone, it uses light extremely efficiently. So I need less light. It doesn't hurt my eyes. That's huge. Before I was fighting with, I don't want the light in my eyes because I really hate that. And in order to get decent use of the green screen or a decent picture, I had to have the light. Now I don't. That's giant. Huge. Now, I have no idea whether this works with Zoom or not. I only know with StreamYard because I use StreamYard. I came to use it early in the pandemic because it allowed me to broadcast to multiple platforms simultaneously. Maybe Zoom does that now. I don't know. But I came to like StreamYard. And they do have chat. If you have issues, you can chat with them, which I just did for a long time. So for me, it's a Mac using Ventura. Recent Macs have Ventura. And an iPhone that is iOS 16 or later. So one thing you want to do is update everything. Make sure your iPhone is updated, your operating system on your computer is updated. And then with StreamYard, what you do is you open a new session, choose camera, and with any luck, the app will see your camera as a choice in the drop-down menu. Mine did not. And it a 2-day event to figure it out. But the way it is nowadays, and this is difficult for boomers to get, is you just got to put in your time with tech support and doing the research if you want to get ahead in the world. It's different nowadays. That's one of the reasons. One of the ways you get ahead in the world is patience and knowing that you can do this tech thing with help, but it's going to be a long time, and you likely will fail for quite a while. But I was determined to do this, hoping against hope that the camera would use light better. And look, it does. It's fantastic. By the way, this background is a photo taken in a bar in Belgrade, Serbia. It's something like the International Travelers Association or something. That's the name of the bar. And it's a bar where Serbian expats go hang out. And they go there so they don't have to feel bad about Serbians being Serbians, because Serbians got a negative rap for the horrific stuff they did in Srebrenica and to the Bosnians. But that's another story for another time. Phil Cates says, call me a Luddite, but I like my typewriter and my fountain pen. Those are nice too. Those are wonderful, wonderful things too. And so are vinyl records. Trust me, I get it. There's something physically, it feels good to write in a legal pad, for example. Trouble with me is I can't read my own writing. So while it was fun to write down, I have full legal pads full of scribble. I don't know anything about it. But let me get on with anybody that is interested in this. There may be I'm sure there are other apps like FaceTime. FaceTime allows you to use your iPhone as a camera, and it saves you having to buy a camera, a webcam, and the camera is so spectacular in the iPhones that I'm thrilled. So let me just take you through the procedure that I was running into. I heard one could do this. I tried. I failed. I did most of what I thought they said to do. I read the requirements. Yes, I had the requirements. I updated everything. But when I would open the session, the broadcast session, and go into the studio in the StreamYard and try to choose the camera option, either the one in my monitor or the iPhone was not an option. It didn't show up. Nothing I could do. Help me out. I called Apple and talked to their tech support. They were super friendly. They walked me through stuff. The guy was so nice, but still didn't work. I did the online chat with StreamYard. Still didn't work. Yesterday's guy wasn't as helpful as today's guy, but I spent, an hour yesterday trying all these things. Wouldn't work. And then I tried again today. I just said, I'm going to get a different tech support person. I'm going to try again. This person was more helpful. And what it came down to were there were two key things. And you'd think they wouldn't make any difference, but they do. Huge difference. And this is a major lesson when it comes to following directions. Follow every nuanced little direction, even though it seems trivial. Two of the things that they said you needed to do with the iPhone is make sure the iPhone is locked and that it's sideways in portrait position, horizontal. And you think that would just be for aesthetics, right? Have it locked, to me, meant stable. It says stable, locked, and in horizontal position. And I didn't take them seriously. I thought, yeah, okay, that's nice that it's in its horizontal position because it'll look better. But it wasn't that. They didn't want people to accidentally start broadcasting live with their phone, I guess. Or something like that. They wanted to prevent this feature from enabling accidentally. So, if your phone is not stable and not locked and not horizontal, it won't work. They figure if you're walking around, it's not going to be if you're moving, you probably don't want to be broadcasting live on this app. That was their thought. So after exhausting time yesterday, and today, with both Apple, today and yesterday, and the StreamYard app, I thought, well, the StreamYard said, well, it's something to do with your browser. Try it in another browser. Try this test. Still no. Finally, there was a little breakthrough, and I saw it in Firefox, another browser that gave me hope. But the dude today said, he did some research and said, people are solving the issue by keeping the phone horizontally and locking it. I thought, oh my goodness, is that it? And sure enough, I did that and it worked. Not only did it show up in Firefox, it showed up in Chrome, which is my default browser. And I was so very, very thrilled at the camera quality and the way the light is used more efficiently, both on my image and in the on the green screen. So another advantage of not having to have bright lights on you directly. Look, I'm wearing glasses, and there's no glare. There's no reflection of lights because my lights are in this room pointing away from me. It's just kind of a easygoing light. Look at the light on that hand. It's amazing. So anyway, it was the small things. If you ever wanted to try this, holding it, that function, it's got to be stable, like on a clip, a monitor clip, or I have mine on a little tripod. Locked, meaning you hold the side button, the side with the single side button, not the two buttons, but you lock it, you just click that and hold it a little bit and it locks. That's what locks it. And then in this horizontal position, then I opened up the app, presto changeo. There it was. It's a giant breakthrough for me. So, and because this is kind of what I do. Fantastic. Big breakthrough. So to let you know what I'm up to, people want to know, what do you do? It's funny. When you go meet up with people, they say, what do you do? That's one of the bummers of retirement. That's the only bummer with retirement. Retirement is a spectacular thing. I know other retired folks. I think Phil Kate is retired. And from what I remember, Phil loves it. I love it too. It's all about how you do it. But you do have to stay active. It's an opportunity to stop doing the stuff that you didn't like doing and do the stuff that you did like doing. Like if my father had made it to retirement, he could have stopped doing the job he hated and been a photographer for the remainder of his life. But he hated his job so much, it stressed him out so much. Among other things, he died super early of a heart attack. And I resolved to maybe subconsciously not to do that. So I did what I did. And so what was I going to say? Oh, so I went to a thing the other day. And when you go to a thing, small talk sucks so badly. The crutch is, so what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And what they really mean is, what are you doing to make money? That's what people mean. What are you doing? What's your job? And I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And I could list the stuff off. I finished an album this year. I put together a YouTube travel channel with over 120 travel videos. That took a year. I learned about quantum physics. That took a year. And I do the show. That's fun. I have some of the old guys. But they don't really want to hear what you're doing. They want some one-line thing. So the other day I went to an event. And it was a punk photo exhibit. And somebody asked me, that I've known a long time, so what are you doing? So I started to list them off, and they just drifted off and started talking to somebody else. They didn't really want to hear what I was doing. And if you try to give someone a nuanced list of what you're doing, instead of just the name of a job, well, I'm bleep. They don't care. And that's another lesson. If you want people to like you, don't talk about you, talk about them. Wish I'd known that 50 years ago, or 40 years ago at least. Yeah, people do not want to hear about you. People want to talk about themselves, including me. I kind of want to talk about myself, but I've had a large opportunity to do that with radio, and especially talk radio. I had to talk about something for 5 hours a night for 6 years. So I kind of got that all talked out. And I realize now that try it out in a social situation. Just ask people about themselves in a specific way, not just what are you doing. Come up with better questions than that. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Your children, what are they up to? They will love you. If you want to be loved, ask people about themselves. So anyway, back to what I'm doing. I really enjoy being the host of stuff. And I want to host some Chronicle show, something like Chronicle. Some feature on a TV station that is Chronicle-esque. Don't care about the station. I have actually pitched Chronicle in Boston because I kind of have a connection with the producer there. I sent my materials to Chronicle in New Hampshire, and I've been sending stuff to Rick Steves because I see Rick Steves very active online, and it seems like he's just starting out with being on Facebook, and I'm an expert at it, and I can do real good videos and edit them on the spot for him. So that's another dream, is to be his producer that produces higher quality videos for social media when he's out there, and post them up immediately. And so that's what I'm doing, is gathering information on media outlets. And there's all kinds of, even radio stations have websites. You know, it's really not about getting rich. It's about doing what I like to do and having people appreciate it. Going, attaboy. That's really kind of what it's about for me. And staying, and just getting information that's interesting to me. That's what I like to do at the show. By the way, Michael Coyne's going to be on soon. Next Thursday. I got to promote that. I like finding out information on stuff. Like, believe it or not, I went to a fish distributor the other day, Foley's. And I was blown away by how wonderful that was. And I found out all kinds of information about how the fish biz works, and about the fish themselves, and about the difference between a good distributor and a not good distributor. Like, I really only want to buy my fish where they are. I'm sure there are other good distributors, but I don't know them. Now I know these guys. It was so spotless in there. Loved it. So clean, so spotless, and the fish looked so good. So I like finding out about stuff. I like, and I want to be a host of a Chronicle type show. So I'm sending out the Union Oyster House video. I'm sending out the glider video. I'm sending out Dave and the Sky Pup video, which is a dude who built his own plane from scratch. Who, actually, I was with Phil Kate up in Vermont when I shot that. He might have seen me shoot that, or he might have been nearby. By the way, that video has gotten the most views of any video I have ever done, like 5,000 on YouTube. I get a lot of views on Facebook, but to actually get 5,000 views on YouTube for a video, that's the most I've ever gotten, I think. 4,000 or 5,000. And the other video is the fish restaurant in Morocco. We're already fantasizing about going back there. If anybody has family in Morocco, well, maybe we want to go visit them. So I'm going to sign off now. As you can see, I'm not looking directly at you because I need to rig my camera so that it's right at the top of the monitor in the middle. So I'm not off to the side, because being off to the side if I look at the camera. Oh no, if I look at the camera, I'm good. If I look at me in the monitor, I'm not looking at the camera, so it makes it makes it look like I'm ignoring you, talking to someone else beside you. So Bob Levine, are you viewing YouTube commercials? Comments. Yes, I see them all, Bob. In StreamYard, it's good to note that I see all the comments from all the platforms I'm streamed to, and I can see where they come from. For example, Boston Bob, who loves his job, he's in the transportation business, has many secrets, says, "Good afternoon, Brad." Boom. I don't post them all. And I wasn't paying attention to them because the camera's kind of blocking them right now, and that's why I have to get a camera mount. But that's $29. Bob says, "It's little things that can make a monumental difference." Yeah. Well, a better camera is a monumental thing. And also, Bob was the one that turned me on to the gimbal. And now I use wireless mics and a gimbal on the Facebook post, the travel posts. And Rick Steves doesn't. And I really feel I could bring a lot to his social media production on his trips. So Rick, I really think you and I'd get along if you're watching me, Rick Steves. You can tag Rick Steves on this. I feel like we get along. You've been my hero for a long time. I do model my videos after yours. You can see now that I have the wireless mics, I kind of do what you do. We're on the same page as far as production value and as far as story and writing and all. So I think we'd get along, and I think you ought to take me with you on your trips to hang out, and I'll be your social media videographer, editor, stuff, and hang out, dude. Phil says, "I am retired. I love it." I have to look around the camera because it's right in front of the screen. It isn't that it isn't that I can do what I want, but it is that I don't do what I don't want to. Yeah, but it's also kind of you can do what you want. I think what you're trying to say, Phil, is you don't do everything you can, certainly, and it's just the knowledge that you can do it is valuable. But in addition, the huge thing is you don't have to do any things that you don't like. Boston Bob says, "You've learned how to master the gimbal." Oh, I'm working on it. It's a tricky deal. It's a tricky thing, especially when you have the wireless mic. The receiver of the wireless mic has to be on the gimbal. But the gimbal is a balancy thing, so you have to find a way to mount it. If they were smart, they would have a little mount on the gimbal for a wireless mic receiver. They're not that smart. Even though the company's DJI that make a lot of drones that are used in, it's a Chinese company. They make a lot of drones used by both sides in Ukraine. Bob Levine switched to Facebook. That's fun. And says, "You've learned how to master YouTube." I'm getting there. It's a lot of work, really. It's a super lot of work if you're going to be posting, right? Are you viewing it? Yes, 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 yes. Michael Caine is amazing. Oh, Michael Coyne. Yes, Michael Caine is amazing. And so is Michael Coyne. He's going to be on Thursday, and we're going to catch up. There's so much legal stuff to catch up on. I don't know. I don't want to get political, but how can anyone say that Clarence Thomas is not somebody that should step down? His conflicts of interest are off the chart. And Roberts are significant as well. It's a corrupt government. Now, Bob says, "You and Tom Hanks share a commonality. You both remain curious." Yeah, man. I do like finding stuff out. I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't like spending money, especially frivolously, but my friend Jeff Hudson, whom I seem to follow in the footsteps in a lot of ways, although he's got Lyme disease, I don't want to follow in those footsteps. He said, "Man, I paid the subscription price for YouTube, and it's totally worth it." And it is. It is. You can learn so much on there. I subscribe to a Jake Bro who does broadcasts every 2 days concerning Ukraine. Another guy named Dennis Davidoff who's in Ukraine. And I like foreign policy and military strategy and stuff. There's a site called, a page called, a channel called Perun, Perun. I don't know why, but that's just the facts. Let me leave you with this. One little thing. As time goes on, things get better, technology gets better, and that's good. But quality of sound and quality of video, it gets worse. And the quality of workmanship and videos people put out sucks. It has, just like crappy audio quality has become the norm. People listen to music on their little stupid iPhone speakers. Actual iPhone headphones aren't that bad, but gone are the days when fidelity mattered. Also, gone are the days when quality of video presentation mattered. Have you noticed that it's perfectly okay to have these horrible jump cuts? I'm sure you see it. That are so disturbing to a boomer. They're not disturbing to kids because they're used to it. But I hated it. It makes my blood pressure go up, makes me want to throw up. Do you know what I mean? It'll be somebody doing a video blog. They'll be just talking along, and they'll chop it up. If there's any space between, or they said something that they want to take out, they'll just chop it up. They won't do it over. They won't even make any effort to have it be a smooth transition. It's just blah, 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 chop, da, 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 chop, 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 chop. And I think that is lame. It sucks. It's poor quality. It's poor workmanship. It's poor craftsmanship. It's a bummer. And you can say, oh, okay, boomer. You can say that. Fine. But it doesn't make it suck any less. I say, do it over. Be better. You're just doing an intro, right? Or find some other video footage, B-roll, to put over it. You don't need to see your stupid face yapping, especially if there are these jump cuts. So either do your thing over so there's not these jump cuts, or put some B-roll on it. But I mean, I some of them have information I want, so I'm forced to sit through it. But it's lame. When you do that, you suck. You suck worse than you could. So that's it. I'm going to go now. Let's see. Phil Cates said, my mother loved Rick Steves. Yeah. I bet she did. Mine did too. I too subscribe to the YouTube. Yeah. Totally worth the dollars. What is it? $12, Bob Levine? Boston Bob? Peeps need to take pride in their production like you do. I know. I have a friend who does a blog, who has a YouTube channel, and I mentioned it to her. And she's a professional broadcaster. She chooses to do the jump cuts. I mentioned it. She says, that's just the way it is now. But I disagree. I admire her. She does great work. I wish she wouldn't do that, especially in ones where she did an intro with the jump cuts, and the rest of it wasn't that way. All you have to do is do your intro over. William Ralph Ardito. Smartphones came out in 2009. No, I don't think so. I think that you could be right, Ralph Ardito. Ardito, you're far away there. Ardita. Ralph. I think it was 2007. Smartphones came out in 2009, and the movies have gone downhill ever since. Hollywood movies. Is that related? I'm not banging on smartphones. Hey, smartphones, I'm using one right now as a camera and loving it. Smartphones are a wonderful tool, like fire and the gun. They're tools which, used well, will certainly enhance humanity, and used poorly will burn down the forest or, fire. Very valuable tool. Got to be careful with it. Can't misuse it, or it will burn down your house or your village. Guns, valuable tool. Can't misuse them. Shouldn't misuse them. They're very, very bad when people misuse them. And smartphones. Complete misuse. I don't know, man, having kids that you use the smartphone as a babysitter, I don't know what kind of kids those are going to be. Probably pretty messed up. And, well, I don't know, since this is just a general talk here, general check-in. One more thing. Okay, I'm a boomer. Yeah, I get it. I have my problems. We destroyed the world. We used up all the money. I get it. Guilty. That said, we have stories. Boomers have stories to tell. Ask a kid for their stories. I mean, a lot of. Ask a kid, a middle class kid. Ask a kid whose mom took him to every soccer game for their stories. Yeah, what do you got? What happened? Tell me a story about your life. Well, my mom took me to a soccer game, and then she did that again and again and again and again and again and again. Anything interesting happened to you? Well, no. We went on a no stories. And an inability to verbalize them. This is not a joke. This is not me. And maybe, evolutionarily speaking, the ability to verbalize will go the way of the dodo because there's no need and it won't be as evolutionarily necessary as computer skills. Okay. I just sounded like Larry David there. But not only do they have a lack of stories, but it's a fact, a proven fact that the younger you are, the more time you spend on the computer, isolated, the worse your verbal skills, and the more freaked out you are in public, and the more you act kind of strangely. Phil said, I should read these prior to, I definitely need to read all comments prior to posting them. Yes. So, all tools definitely need to be used properly. And Boston Bob says, yeah, right. Pretty good. I'm hooked on Larry David. It's weird. Some days I think he's a hero for speaking out and saying the crazy stuff that no one would really say in social situations. Other times I think, man, what a DB. Just unnecessarily DB-ish. And he does have these things he does. He does say, that's pretty good. I used to like that. I do like if he thinks somebody's lying, he stares into their eyes for like 20 seconds to decide if they're telling the truth. I like that. And I like sometimes when he gets caught in something and he thinks about it and then he's wrong. He goes, okay. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm watching Larry David. What happens is I'll try to watch something else, a movie, stupid, a TV series. I don't really like series as much as movies. I like one and done. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I do like Larry David. Yeah. Oh, of course. You've said this before. Boston Bob would know this as he is in the transportation industry. Fun fact, Larry David was a chauffeur for Dave L. Limousine back in the day. And actually, in his show, in one episode, he did become a driver. He said, I want to do this, and he did it. Okay, that's all for today. But this has been a test of the Bradley J broadcast system, and with the new camera. And I am thrilled to pieces. There you go. So, all right, you guys, thanks for being the loyal folks you are. I really appreciate it. If you get any information on executive producers for TV stations, need content, sort of backpack journalistic content, or hosts for their content, let me know. And that's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. I have been invited to go. Video quality is amazing. Good, Bob. The key is the lighting is crazy low. The lighting, it's beautiful. I thought maybe the increased definition would be bad for me, like it is for many television news people. You know, they woe the day. Is that how you say it? Woe is the day that high def came, because it's not good. That's it. I know. I keep saying that's it, but I'll end it now. Bye.